Should we take this out?
Yeah. Time and then that's straight away.
Are you going into these or you said?
I got a chair in here. He can hang out in here.
So this is any words of describing, and they are the words that you're going to choose are to describe how you actually are, not what you want to be like.
So do you answer them or do you let somebody else answer them about you?
But each
I
one of
feel like
the,
those are different answers.
each one of the word selections are gonna be very specific towards that position. So that's what my,
You just pick whatever you do right now.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. This is, you pick whatever job function you're in now. It could be,
it's just compared to the new online.
yeah, and it just says in your line to that.
Okay.
Anybody in the room yet? Only one person. Let's see where people start showing up here. Let's Sandy in, Tristan in. Hello, hello, hello. Should have some intro music. We're kind of talking about that, right? Sandy, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all today?
So wonderful to see you.
It's nice to see y'all.
I got Jonathan here with me.
Hello, Jonathan.
Jonathan's normally in Virginia, right?
Yeah.
You're in Arizona. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
How's the weather and how's everything in you're in Missouri, right?
No, guess again. Elvis Presley.
Tennessee.
Yes.
There we
Well,
go.
the company's based in South Haven, Mississippi, but we do the majority of our work.
Oh, that's right. Mississippi. I was thinking Mississippi, not
Yeah.
Missouri. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, you were right. You're same kind of thought.
And looks like we got Tristan on here. Well, I think a lot of people are in a trade show today, so we might be a little light. Like I don't think Angela's even going to be here.
Where's the trade show?
It's in New Orleans. Jonathan's actually going to speak there, but he gave it a spot for Angela. So
I was born and raised. I grew up in Louisiana.
oh, okay, cool. I've never been there.
What?
Never been to Louisiana.
Oh, it's good.
Oh.
I love the
I
summer.
think I've driven
Dang.
through part of the state, but like New Orleans, I've never been to New Orleans. I'd love to go. Yeah, my wife talks about it every now and then, so we should totally go.
It's nice. It's raining all week this week, but we could be there.
You know what? Yeah, I did look up like the rainiest places in the U.S. and I think New Orleans was number one, like 110 inches of rain a year. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's an inch every 3 days. Right? Like that's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Well, looks like we scared Tristan away because he's gone. So it's just you and us. I got a light turnout today. I talked to a few people who said they were going to be here, but maybe today's one of those days, where business goes sideways.
Do I get extra points? Just
Oh,
kidding.
that happens a lot, right? It happens a lot. I don't know. I guess if we don't get too many people to show up, maybe we'll save this subject for next week. Who knows? I got Jonathan here. He's implementing traction with our business and EOS. So I love that. We're smack in the middle of like going through business and talking about, accountability, who's in charge of what. Really, really good stuff, right? But I know we were talking about traction and implementing it before you were jumping on these shows. And I like to be the type of person who doesn't just say, do this and not do it. I like to be the kind of guy who actually says he's going to do something and does it. So I didn't want to really implement EOS into my business, and Jonathan said he was willing to. So I'm like, yeah, baby, let's do it.
Okay with that understanding.
So, David, how are you today? He's frozen. Maybe his connection isn't so good.
Looks very stoic.
Yeah, David just looks like a champ, frozen in time. There you go. How are you, David?
I'm good. I was in a bad spot. I just had to drive to better signal.
You're always driving. Are you always out doing sales? Is that what you're always doing?
Today I went back to the office to see my office managers. I hadn't seen them in a week and a half, so
I gotcha.
had to give them some in-person direction.
I gotcha. Well, cool. I don't know if you see over my shoulder, John or David, but I got Jonathan here from Red Door Pro Wash. Plus, what's your marketing or your tell us about your consulting business. I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, sure. So it's called Company 180. We do turnaround consulting, merger acquisition consulting, and EOS implementation. Just based on the stuff that I learned, kind of growing and scaling my service companies.
Cool. I didn't know you did mergers and acquisitions too. That's
For some reason, all of a sudden this week, I have seen you all over Facebook.
No kidding. All
Yep.
right.
Well, he was in Cancun last week, and then where else? It's
Yeah, Cancun, and then I've been doing a lot of these videos, just trying to help people out.
very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
You're in what, Frederick? Where are you from?
Fredericksburg, Virginia. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I seeing ads for him down here in Lynchburg?
Are my Pro Wash ads going down there?
Yep.
Huh.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk to my marketing company about that. That's wasted dollars.
As far as I know, he's not competing with you.
Heck no.
I want to compete with David, the big dog. Ha.
That's a 3-hour commute.
Yeah, no, we go as far away as Richmond. That's it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we're Lynchburg and Roanoke, so
Yeah, we stay way away from that.
we got Nicholas in here. Nicholas, it's awesome to have you join. He's at a vertical track right now, right?
Yeah.
How's it going?
I just did a tour of the facility. It's going great. Going wicked, yeah.
Are you at the A1 garage door facility? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I just finished doing the tour here. So I gotta check
Cool.
their place. Yeah.
Look at you joining Collaborate Live. I love it. We're actually, Jonathan and I are going to come have dinner with you tonight.
Yeah. Super
Yeah.
excited about that.
So yeah, it's probably going to be 5 or 6, but I'll let you know. So all y'all want to get points. Jonathan came to town to visit me, and Nick's in town, and he called me up. He was like, dude, let's go grab a bite. So we're gonna go hang out, man. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
anything it takes to get points, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, guess what? Angela's not here, so I'm gonna give something away today. How about that?
Yay.
She always says, "Oh yeah, Sandy, you win every time." Might have to include Sandy, but I'll give away some points today. I was thinking about that all day. I'm like, you know what? Let's give away some points. So those points are fun, right?
Catching y'all in the wild is hard.
Say that again.
Catching y'all in the wild is hard.
Yeah. Angela travels more than I do. I will be in Nashville in a couple weeks. But yeah, Angela travels way more than I do. You should hook up with Angela more than me. So anyway, Andy and Karen live in Denver. So if you're ever in Denver, Angela lives in Omaha, but she's always traveling, and I'm in Phoenix. So you guys know.
You got to have some East Coast representation here.
Yeah. True. All right. Well, let's get into it a little bit. Let's talk about business mistakes. Man, I made so many mistakes. Did you make any mistakes?
All of them.
Yeah. And I'd like this to be like a collaborative discussion here. I'll start off by saying one and we'll see where it kind of goes. I have a list of mistakes here. When I got started in business, I don't think there was very many business coaches, but I think a lot of people who start business today and don't have a mentor or a business coach is a huge mistake. Because I know when somebody comes to me and asks for advice, I'm like, man, I'd love to help you, So one of my biggest ones is probably not hiring a business coach. I started in the late 90s. So the internet was kind of new and not really much was going on. So I'm not sure there was that many business coaches, but I should have at least reached out to a mentor and given me some advice. Anyway, that, and then my next thing is measuring results. Like I didn't measure, you have to inspect what you expect. So when I was new and starting out, I'm just like, yeah, I'm making money, but I don't think I really measured results. And that's a terrible way to do business.
Yeah.
About you?
It happens. Oh, me, wow. One of the biggest things is probably on the people side is not being slow to hire, quick to fire, not cutting the cancer, putting up with stuff that I didn't have to put up with, shouldn't have put up with.
Slow to hire, quick to fire, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to write these all down. So hopefully we can have a list and we'll put them up. All right. How about
When you finally let somebody go and your employees throw a party, you're really screwed up.
Yeah, right.
that happens a lot, right? Oh my gosh, how many times I've hired somebody and everybody's like, oh my God, it's about time.
Took you long enough.
Yep. About Nick or Nick, do you guys have any business mistakes?
Growing too fast and taking on debt you think you can handle when you don't know how.
Yeah. Growing too fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with Jonathan, just like holding the wrong people for too long. I worked with my brother for 7 years and we just fought all the time. And then when I stopped working with him, we doubled every year after that. So having the cancer is definitely something that will hold you back. So
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Working with family in general.
yeah,
That's why I fired my wife.
Don't
Actually,
lie, she quit on you.
yeah, she did. Yeah. Jonathan's actually here helping us do business counseling right now. So he's heard a little bit of it, right? Well, I love her more than anything. So she's way more valuable than the business, that's for sure. We could go on with people forever, right? Like,
Yeah.
so many mistakes in people. Hiring people for the wrong role. Have you done that?
Oh yeah, wrong,
Oh yeah.
right person, wrong seat.
Yeah. I had a business manager that he was in charge of a division, and I have on my list here of writing contracts. So I used to not write contracts with people within our company. And, I kind of only wrote like a contract for, the managers or kind of the management staff or, the people in the office. And I had a guy out in the field and I had a written contract with him. But like for several months, I was really annoyed that he wasn't doing this certain thing. And like, I'd bring it to his attention and be like, yeah, don't worry about that. It was kind of his attitude. And I was like mad at him. I'm like, man, when I get my year review, I'm going to let this guy know. His name is Mitch. I'm like, I'm telling Mitch, dude, I've been pissed off at you for like 4 months or whatever it was. So I'm typing up his new contract and I'm reading through his old contract while I put my expectations in there. Well, I'm glad I put expectations in there because what I was expecting him to do wasn't in his contract. So it was a me problem, right? So I'm going to expect this guy to perform what I didn't write down. So writing contracts and putting expectations. Does anybody here watch the show, The Prophet? Do you ever watch that show?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus Lemonis is amazing. He's like, you have to tell people what you expect out of them. And you got to tell them what their lane is. So if we don't tell the people what the expectation is, I have no reason to be mad. So that one was totally on me. So I put writing contracts in there. Anybody else do that?
Similar, but we put together a roles and responsibilities sheet. And
Yeah.
yes, it was because of the same reason. learned the hard way.
Yeah, why is he not doing that? The guy drives me nuts. Right?
Yep.
Another one I have is, especially when you start in a service company, it's equipment shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Just gonna say that. Yep.
Shiny object
It's
syndrome.
the
Like,
latest and greatest, whatever it is. This thing is gonna solve all your business problems, and it's only $1,000 and you need one for every truck, and then you order them and it's like, well, that didn't work.
yeah. A good example was, go ahead, David.
I said, you realize you come away from a conference like the huge convention, and you've written all these pages of notes, and you got to implement it all at one time, and your people can't handle that much change. You got to do it piece by piece by piece, and not try to kill yourself or kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Too much change at once. And you said the huge convention, right?
Yes.
Shout out to the huge.
Lots of good stuff. You just
Yeah.
can't take it all in at once.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
pick 2 or 3.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I do it.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I do it the opposite way. I like once I hear something, I start emailing my guys right away. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Just because I find I write stuff down, then I'm like, oh, I wrote that down like 3 months ago. I should have acted on that. So like once I hear something, I'm trying to train myself to like instantly start engaging it. And then if it ends up being crap, I just kill it. But I try to do it as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's hard, right? You want to be a man of action, right? But yeah, you can overkill. What were you going to say, Nick?
I was gonna say saying yes to too much, basically personally thinking I can handle more than I actually can, not knowing how to say no.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to a customer when they're like, oh, you're my savior. You can solve my problem. I really need you for this. And man, yeah, it's hard to say no. I've noticed I don't like the feeling of being needed. Like if somebody needs something from me right now, like that's my worst feeling. I feel like I'm back in school and I got an F on a test, or the teacher's mad at me, or my parents are ready to ground me. I'm like, man, why do I don't like that feeling of being needed. So I try not to say yes too much, but I still have that problem. I say yes to a lot. That's a good one, Nick. I love that.
I'm a people pleaser, so it's a problem.
Yeah. Nick, I got something. Can you do it for me?
Yeah. What's up?
It's like, I got you.
How about you, Sandy? Is there any mistakes you guys make over there? No?
No, we do everything right.
Back in
Wow.
1992, you made one mistake.
No, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, and especially the part about shiny objects. Like a lot of times, our company will see stuff and they'll just jump at the first thing, like redoing a website, going with a different software, where I'm more methodical in my thinking. I like to have options 1, 2, 3 in front of me and then see. And that could be because I work with all men. But like as a woman, like I tend to want to pull the reins back and go, well, let's explore these options.
You sound like my wife. I'm like, why do we got to think about it? Let's do it, right?
See,
That's my partner.
That's her.
Well,
Let's just do, yeah.
Yeah, from a psychological standpoint, there's 2 different types of people. There's high fact finders and quick starts. We're quick starts. Sandy's a high fact finder. You have to have that balance.
Yeah.
Your integrator
Good.
needs to be a high fact finder.
Oh, I'm gonna tell them this tomorrow in our staff meeting.
Yeah. By the way, I'm the high fact finder, and you
High
need.
fact finder. What was the other one that you said?
Quick start.
Quick start.
So it's a ready, fire, aim kind of person, which that's me. It's like I look at like a website redesign, and you go to a company and it's like, yep, okay, yeah, they look great, let's just go, instead of going, well, let's look at them and look at this other one, and this is what we need. I'm just like, just get it.
Yep.
That's how all the guys are.
All the guys are. I do know some people who are high fact finder people.
Well, in our company, Demetrios,
Yeah.
that parts that way, and the two new men that we just hired, that's exactly, they're all like, ready, aim, fire, and they're gone. Yeah.
I was just gonna say the people that I know that are men that are high fact finder people, they all work in like IT. They work for Intel, friends of mine, because Intel's here. They're all engineers, and I'm like, that's why they're all engineers, because they
But that's
methodically.
hilarious because like I have a liberal arts degree and like I am not structured. So that's why that's funny that I'm the one that wants to research before we pull a trigger.
Okay. How about any mistakes on taxes or business structures? Anybody ever done mistakes there? Yeah, I'd like to hear yours.
Yeah, not filing the proper like payroll information when you're new in business. It's like, I'm just starting a business and you don't expect, you just, oh, well, I'm just gonna pay people with a check and then you don't realize that there's steps that you have to take, and then, one day it's, oh, no, I was supposed to do all that.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I didn't get audited.
Yeah. So I got divorced many years ago, and my previous business was in my ex-wife's name and mine. So I closed that business and started a new corporation. I didn't close that business properly, and the IRS had assumed I was still making money. And many years later, I had an IRS agent show up at my house, and I was like, what is going on? Right. And they said I owed him like $400,000 or something ridiculous. And I was like, what are you talking? Like, man, I was scared. And so I realized I didn't file the right paperwork to close the business. I didn't literally tell the IRS, hey, the business is closed. So that was a pretty simple piece of paper I could have filed and saved myself a whole lot of time and frustration. And then I had to hire another accountant to sort through it all. Man, this amount of fear I had and the time I wasted and the money I had to spend to get an accountant to sort all that out. It was a simple piece of paperwork that I could have filed. So if you ever close a business, that's my big mistake, man. Make sure you file the right paperwork with the IRS, because they're just they leave that open and assume that you're still operating and you just haven't paid them money, right? So anybody else mess up with IRS or taxes or?
But trusting but not verifying the person that we hired to file and pay our taxes, payroll taxes. She was basically a con artist, and we didn't realize it because we didn't actually go and verify everything she said was done. So after like 2.5, 3 years, we found out that we owed the IRS 400 grand. So that was fun. Yeah, she was telling us the whole time it was all paid. So always trust but verify.
I heard a story in the news. It was probably about a year ago. There was a payroll company that just straight closed their doors one week, and they had hundreds or thousands of clients around the US, and they had collected, like me, when I do my payroll, I pay it to my payroll company on like Monday, and then they finally get it to all the employees on Friday. This payroll company literally shut down somewhere in like Thursday, and like it was literally hundreds of millions of dollars didn't go to employees. And this payroll company literally took all that money and just like vanished or something. I don't know how it all worked out, but yeah, trust in your payroll company, man, that's huge, right? Because what if they're not paying those taxes? What if they're not filing the reports? Man.
Yep.
I'll tell you another mistake is, and I've had business coaches, and I've done 3 years of Conquer, and I think this is a real weakness they've got. But you concentrate way too much on revenue and not hardly at all on, are you making any money being busy? What good is it to have revenue if you spend it all to make it all?
Right.
Yeah.
I got a friend who's been in the coaching with that, and I made him think through it, and he was spending. He was in the house washing business. He was spending over $400 to gain a customer.
Ooh.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's you gotta know your numbers. That goes to a big global picture of knowing your numbers, right? Where your numbers come, where your numbers go, what's left over. how much it costs to acquire a customer. Yeah, it's huge, man. I was telling Jonathan this earlier today, like, I remember early in business, like if I didn't pay attention to my business for like a week or two, like, man, it goes sideways fast. Especially if you have a big, heavy payroll, man, and you're not watching that. Like, I've got my general manager, Steve, is here, and every Monday he hands me a report. That's the one report I look at in my window cleaning business. And I look through the jobs and I see the dollar per hours and I see the crews and I'm like, whoop, what about this one? He's like, well, that one. He has a story like, this is what's going on. I'm like, oh, wow, this one looks great. Oh yeah, we like that customer, so, I mean, for me, that's really the one report I look at once a week. And I hold Steve accountable to report that to me. But yeah, man, not watching your numbers. Go ahead, Sandy.
How have y'all found is the best way to calculate your per man hour for your jobs? Because we've done several different versions and we're working on that. Like this report he gives you, how do y'all calculate that?
Do you have an answer on that? I don't honestly know how we get that report.
We use just a spreadsheet that shows the job. It's a job costing spreadsheet that is essentially, here's the revenue, here's the payroll that was tied to it. And it just shows a production. It's a pretty simple formula. So say if the job is a $5,000 job and your payroll on it is, $1,000, then you just, that it was, I can't do math that quickly.
So I think we have a percentage, and I don't know what the percentage we came up with is of
Ours is 20%. 20% of our job is labor. That's our labor budget on it.
I think ours is higher than that. And if it doesn't hit the percentage, and then ours are broken down per crew per day. So like if Jonathan and I were out cleaning windows today, at the end of the day, we would report into the girl who does the reports and say, hey, him and I worked X amount of hours and we brought in this much revenue for this day. And then Jonathan and I are measured. And so when I see the report, it's per truck. And then it's, who's in that truck. So the list of whoever was on that job. A lot of times when we're losing money, it's because there's more than 2 guys on a job.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there's 5 guys on a job. And I'm like, why are there 5 guys on that job? Like, what were you guys thinking? So then that goes back to the scheduling, does that help you, Sandy?
Yeah, thanks.
How about you, David? How do you guys measure your employees?
I paid to get a guy that does this for a living spreadsheet made out that we use for all our dashboards in the shop. It's probably got 25 tabs on it, and we put in the job, the hours worked on it, and we get it by employee down, all the way down to it. So we know on every job who is the most efficient, and we track it and we show it to the guys every week. So there's competition between them. And then at the end of every month, whoever had the highest, basically we do it reverse that. We put the highest revenue per man hour on there, that when we built, if you ever watched The Price is Right, they get that Plinko game. We built our own built our own Plinko board, and they get to play Plinko, and whoever got the most reviews gets to play Plinko, and they win for prizes like we've got chores in our shop that somebody's got to clean the bathrooms, and somebody's got to sweep the floor, and somebody's take out the trash. Me and my son will do their shop chore for them as one of the prizes. They might get $50 out of my wallet. They might get a gift card, cool. Things like that. So we reward them for trying to get the highest revenue per man hour.
So speaking of employees, here's another thing that I did wrong is I didn't consistently do employee reviews. Now it's easy to just leave that statement there, but when we're talking to employees, what does that tell them? It tells them they're important to us, right? What else do employees like about that? They like the structure, right? An employee wants to work somewhere where they feel safe. And if they're working in a business that's just a free-for-all, it's like having kids that don't have rules in the house. Like they're a mess, right? You want to elaborate on that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's kind of like children. Children like boundaries.
Yeah.
People like boundaries. And your employees are no different. If they know what the expectations are, then they know they can perform to those expectations. The worst is having unmet expectations that were never given.
Never addressed, yeah. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I mean, I went years where I'd just be like, you're doing good, here's a raise. You're doing good, here's a raise. You know, I didn't take the time to sit down and get the feedback from the employee, right? And then you were mentioning earlier today where the employee does the other review towards their manager, right? So we need to figure out all this information and then measuring employees like David says, and what we're doing is when we measure, like if I know Jonathan, he's producing $67 an hour, well, that's his average. That's what this guy's doing. And he sits down and is like, hey man, I need a raise for like, what if I don't know his number? Like, I'm just going to throw a number out there to make Jonathan happy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, well, I'm going to go do that again. Hey man, Dave, I need another raise.
Yeah.
It's got to be measured, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be, you have to tie data to everything, because then it takes the feelings out of it. And going, well, I like this person, so I'm going to give them a raise, or I like them, so I'm not gonna fire them or hold them accountable.
Yeah.
If there's no data behind it, then it's purely feelings and you're gonna lose every time.
Yeah.
Does anybody else pay commission?
We do. In my power washing company, we're commissioned. There's a guaranteed base, but it's really a commission-based job.
Yeah, we do the same. Ours is a bit higher though. Like we mostly do window cleaning. We're not doing any like soft washing or
Yeah,
anything
you
like
gotta
that.
pay higher on window cleaning, but then also your cost of goods, your materials are lower. Your equipment's lower, stuff like that. So it's a balance there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do 25% for our team members, and then we pay our guys weekly. So once we do payroll for the week, we kind of like send an email to everybody with like the scores. So like one of our guys last week had a score of like 60, which is crazy. He's been cleaning windows for 16 years though, but this guy is like insane. It's just insane what he pulls off in a day. 60 is good, so it's pretty much $60 an hour. Your score is pretty much your hourly rate.
Oh, I gotcha.
So he'll like crush out like $1,800 and be home by 2. And we're just like, how the hell do you do that? And then he gets 5 stars too. Like last year he had 77 5 stars with his name on it. We just passed over 500 5 stars. And we incentivize our guys. So like if you get a name drop on a 5-star review, then we give them $20. And every time you get to 100, you can cash it out. So every 5 stars with your name in it, you get $100. And that's done really well for us.
Oh, that's great. That's nice. We talked about government contracts last week. I think everybody on this call was there, right?
Except for me, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really liked that topic last week. But I put on here checking my numbers. I submitted that bid and I screwed up the numbers. Like, I told you guys, I could have asked any one of you guys to help me out. Any one of you guys would have helped me out. Luckily, I had such a strong proposal that didn't matter. But, if it came down to a couple points, I would have lost. So that would have been a huge loss. I'd be probably still sitting here crying right now. So I didn't check my numbers. Seems so simple, right?
Happens. You get confident when you do stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, I've got this, rather than going, no, I gotta get second set eyes on it.
You nailed it. I felt confident. And I repented and I prayed to God and I'm like, please forgive me. You don't have to humble me. I'm humbled enough. Please, Lord. I literally
Thank you for not taking the contract.
I was asking God for forgiveness. Speaking of contracts, I told you guys when you get contracts, sometimes you get them piggybacked. I had the city call me literally a couple days ago and say, hey, we want to add all the city of Phoenix water buildings onto your contracts. Do you mind if we do that? And I'm like, let me yeah, I'll take them all. So they put the same $1 per hour on all those other buildings. So again, they gave more to us. My general manager, Steve, told me this morning that he had a meeting with one of the city officials who was rating our contract. And he said we were in a totally different galaxy. He said one of our competitors, I'm not gonna say their name, was a national franchise, a national window cleaning franchise. And their national office was bidding against us. And he said we blew them out of the water. They weren't even close. They didn't have the stuff in there they needed. So he said price didn't even matter. He goes, you guys left so much money on the table, you don't even realize it. So when we hear a reassurance like that, like, man, that's great, right? Did our homework and got a great bid. Anyway, getting off topic a little bit, but does everybody here have a business coach? I kind of went by that really fast, but I feel like, have you ever had a business coach or a mentor?
Yeah. So I was in Conquer for a while. We did that for I think 2 years.
Okay.
And then after we got past kind of what they were able to help us with, at that point, I had to find somebody that was like where I had wanted to be,
Nice.
and you always want to look for that person that has done the thing you want to do. There's a lot of people that are coaches and things that have never done the thing. And so it was hard to find somebody that's like, hey, have you taken a business to $10 million?
Yeah.
So finding that person, but you find them in.
Yeah, it's true. Because Jonathan talks a lot of time about being stuck, right? Stuck to the $3 to $5 million range.
Yeah.
And then what do you do to overcome that, right? Yeah. And then you have to go find somebody who's done that, who's absolutely done that before. I know in like the tech world, it's really common for tech companies to go out and hire a CEO to take them to the next level. Because, your idea and your visionary can only take you so far, but if you stay there, you're limited and you don't realize you're limited. So go out and find a CEO who can run it better than you.
That, and it's funny, that's what's been successful in my exterior cleaning company, even, is finding people that can do it better than you.
Yeah. You met my general manager. He's sitting in here.
Yeah.
He's way better. He loves window cleaning way more than I do. He knows all the stages, all the platforms. He worked in LA for 20 years. Actually, he was showing Jonathan a building we're on today. It's got a BMU unit. It's got this humongous, like, I don't even know how tall the building is. It's
Makes
huge.
my gut turn.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know anything about that. I don't need to know anything about that. I just hired the guy that was smarter than me. Right? Yeah. So cool.
So you were asking about coaches. So I
Yeah.
had an individual coach who ended up turning into a Conquer coach, and I did Conquer for 3 years, and I just finished a year of Breakthrough Academy. Now I'm starting next week. I'm starting a 6-month plan with Josh Latimer doing the war plan marketing.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm going to look for an individual coach again.
Huh, that's cool. That's awesome, David. Yeah, the fact that I heard Breakthrough Academy is fantastic. And so is Conquer. I've never met anybody in Conquer who's not killing it, or Breakthrough Academy. So
Conquer is really good to get you up to about $1 million. Then it's got to have needs a Conquer 2.0, which they don't have. Breakthrough Academy is really good if you're in the trades, as far as like you're a builder, a painter, a plumber. It's not service business oriented nearly as much. So that's what we got out of that for. But
cool.
Yeah, I've been working with a coach for the last 3 years. She's just like a local coach. I met her at a BNI kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's great when you reach out.
And then also Bergflow too. I'm planning to be working with Bergflow, but I haven't actually nailed it down yet.
Oh, okay.
They spoke at the huge.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I recognize them for sure. Does anybody else have any business mistakes that you want to share so we can all be wise? We don't need to repeat. All right, well, let's give away some points, huh? I'm going to share my screen here.
Andy's name.
Andy works at Collaborate.
Oh.
So, okay, so we got Jonathan, Sandy, who all she does is win, 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 right?
yeah,
Got David and Nicholas and Nick. So it's anybody but Sandy. Is that what we're saying? All right, let's see who pops up. Nick Thurston. All right. I'll give you 10 extra points today. How cool is that? Nick won flights too, right?
So my
Yeah.
10 points equate to a free hotel, right?
Yeah. Hey, you get your points to your hotel. Okay. So we are really close to nailing down the contracts for Collaborate Live. It's going to be here in Arizona in October. You guys all know about that. It's going to be really cool.
Give us the 1 minute version of what you think that's going to be, because I really don't know what that is. I want to
So,
know.
so it's going to be a lot of networking and like hands-on working on your business, collaborating together. We're going to have people come in and speak that can actually give you some really good actionable items that will change your business. We have a chat GPT mastery that we're going to teach to you guys, and then we're going to do an implementation session with it. So chat GPT is a lot deeper, and you guys have probably heard this. It's a lot deeper than you can imagine. Stuff like that, and then people that come in and we haven't finalized all the speakers, but we have some really good people lined up that can actually make a real difference. So we're putting it on a couple days before the PWNA, so some of our people might go to the PWNA here in Arizona. But we want to get together. We want to network together. So we're gonna have like kind of a welcoming night on the Monday night, and then Tuesday it's going to be learning and implementing, working on your business. So we have some people in Collaborate who are going to be teaching the Chat GPT, which is Travis and Max. And I'll probably be in that a little bit. So we'll learn some of that. We'll work on your business. And then like you guys want to be inspired and motivated and learn how to grow your businesses. So we're going to have people speaking and showing how to do stuff like that. And then more networking. We're just going to have like a live band on the second night, whatever night that is, Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, of course, we're giving away the $25,000. So we might do one more group activity together. We're working on that still, but we just really want to network together and help raise everybody's ship, right? Might be a little golf in there too. It's at a golf resort, so there might be some opportunity to go golfing while you're in Arizona if you're a golfer.
This is like the 8th and the 9th, 10th, 11th, something like that in October.
Yeah, it is October. Let me pull up my calendar here really quick. October, yeah, starting the 9th, 10th, and the 11th. So we have a page that's pretty much up and ready for you guys to jump on, and it's got all the details on it. I probably should have looked at it while I was saying this, but we're just like literally I have to go over and sign the contract. I got emailed the contract this morning. We'll go over, we'll sign the contract, and then we'll get the hotel rooms up ready for you guys, the hotel block. It's gonna be pretty cool. Another thing, like David, I know you're into sales a lot. I'm trying to get a guy, I don't want to say we're gonna get him until we get him, but a guy who's created an amazing, sales team. Like stuff like that's really gonna change your business, really take you to the next level. So we want to bring in some people like that and can help us all, right?
Okay.
Cool. Next week, I don't know what our topic is, but in 2 weeks, David Hamill is going to be presenting, right, David?
That's right.
Going to give us a sneak peek on what that's going to be about?
I'm going to just go over a lot of examples and show some things you need to do if you want your company to really look professional, to have the right look on consistently through everything. If you look like you're the professional and everything, you can charge a lot more, and why that's so important.
Yeah,
we all need to charge more than we're charging.
All right, guys, you guys have an awesome Wednesday. Be successful, be blessed. We'll talk to you guys soon. And Nick, we'll see you guys. We'll see you in a couple hours. All right, guys, have a good day.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.